how's it going guys? MissingNoVGC here, and today we're doing yet another Dungeon Dice Monsters deck profile. Last time we profiled the Insect Queen deck, and honestly it did a lot better than I thought it was going to. It brought a lot of new eyes to the channel. A lot of people are pretty excited to see some DDM gameplay in the future. So I wanted to get this next one up as soon as possible because I wanted to try and have both up before me and my brother actually sit down to play our game. I don't want to ramble as much as I did at the beginning of the last video, so I'm going to kind of break this down as quickly as possible. All these deck profiles are done using pieces made by Gaia Aura cards. I'll have a link down to their store in the description below. We are playing with the English Advanced Format rules with double dice rolls and up summons included. That does call for 10 card decks, however, we will be profiling 15 card decks, as we have the 10 that we want to consider our main deck, and then we have an additional 5 that we have decided to dub the Flexible 5, as other options you can play in the deck or give you different answers to other things, kind of like a sideboard, but you have access to it throughout the entire game. Unlike the Insect Queen deck, this deck was built with both mine and my brother's input, since he'll be the one piloting it on camera first. His approach to the Flexible 5 is quite different than how I approached my Flexible 5, and I'm super excited to see how the games are going to play out, because honestly this deck, looking at it, is pretty scary. To start things off, we play one copy of Petite Dragon. This is a level 1 Dragon Tribe monster with 10 HP, 10 attack, and 10 defense, and while he is in the dungeon, all Dragon Tribe monsters gain 10 attack. So just like Mammoth Graveyard in the last video, this will affect all dragons, both yours and your opponents, so just remember that when you're trying to boost all your stuff. Next we play a copy of Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon is a level 1 Dragon Tribe monster with 10 HP, 10 attack, and 10 defense, and it also has flying, so super good to start off with in front of your Monster Lord. Its other ability is that while it's in the dungeon, all Dragon Tribe monsters gain 10 extra defense points. Again, this affects both you and your opponent. We also play one copy of Darkfire Dragon. This card is actually crazy good. It's a level 1 Dragon Tribe monster with 20 HP, 20 attack, and 10 defense, and it has 2 abilities. When this monster is summoned, you can add 1 progress crest to your crest counter, so free movement is super nice. And then by spending 1 spell crest, this monster gains the flying ability to the end of the turn. And at first I was like, that doesn't sound super great, but this gives you an answer to other monsters that have flying situationally. So you can move around like normal, then get the flying ability, and then attack an enemy flyer, and that's super good. We're kind of breaking the rules of the last video with this one. We had said that we wanted our main deck to be as focused on cards that everyone has access to, but there are going to be instances where that's just not going to be possible. And frankly, we feel that Spear Dragon is too important to not play, even though it's a Gaia exclusive card. So Spear Dragon is a level 1 Dragon Tribe monster with 10 HP, 30 attack, and 10 defense. And just like Spear Dragon in the TCG, after this monster is battled an opponent's monster, it cannot attack for the next turn. So it just has to sit there and not do anything, which honestly isn't really that bad of a downside because maybe you don't have the crest to move it anyway, so it's whatever. Really strong attack, very scary card. Our last level 1 is the super powerful dragon Penguin Soldier. It's a level 1 Beast Tribe monster with 10 HP, 20 attack, and 20 defense, and when this monster is played into the dungeon, you can target one other monster in the dungeon and place it next to its controller's Monster Lord. So you can either target one of your monsters and get it out of harm's way, or if your opponent's getting super close to your Monster Lord, you can just take their monster and put it right next to theirs, making it have to start back at square one. This is a really good late game card, and it's quite annoying to deal with. Moving on to our level 2s, we have Lord of Dragons. This is a level 2 Dark Tribe monster with 10 HP, 10 attack, and 10 defense, and he has 2 abilities. By spending 6 of any crest that you control, you can sacrifice your Lord of Dragons, then take any dragon you have in your dungeon and place it where he was, This can help you get a monster that has flying from one end of the board to the other without having to spend any progress crests. You can also use it to move your dragons out of harm's way if your opponent has an even bigger threat that you don't want to deal with. And then its other ability is by spending 3 spell crests, you can select one Dragon Tribe monster your opponent controls and take control of it until the end of the turn. So you can then control their own monsters and have them start attacking their other stuff. Really, really good. Next we're playing Thousand Dragon. This is a level 2 Dragon Tribe monster with 20 HP, 30 attack, and 20 defense. That's really good for a level 2 monster. So its ability is when this monster is summoned, you must pay 3 crests of any type. And if you do not, you have to destroy this monster. So just on turn it's summoned, you have to pay 3 crests, and then it's free game. And this thing can cause a lot of damage to your opponent if they are not ready. Next we're playing Gaia Dragon. This is a level 2 Dragon Tribe monster, 30 HP, 10 attack, and 10 defense. And then during a battle, this monster can reduce the damage it receives by 10 points for each extra defense crest you spend while defending. This card is okay. We definitely think this deck is more of an aggro type of play style. So Gaia Dragon just seems kind of out of place. In the future, we already have plans on replacing Gaia Dragon with Thunder Dragon, which comes in set 8. I don't have all the sets memorized, so I'll have a picture of it up on screen. But basically, Thunder Dragon is, you spend some spell crests, I can't remember how many, and it's basically Monster Reborn for any dragon that you've already had destroyed. So that seems a bit more fun than using Gaia Dragon. But for right now, Gaia Dragon will do, but Thunder Dragon will definitely be taking its place in the future. Moving on to level 3s, my brother actually plays 2 of them. So the first one is Magician Dragon. This is a level 3 Dragon Tribe monster with 40 HP, 20 attack, and 10 defense. And this card is pretty nuts. For 3 trap crests, this monster can add the defense power of an opponent's monster to its defense. So that's pretty good. So let's say that you have an insect queen that's been boosted by jellyfish. That right there is already 40. So by spending 3 trap crests, he now becomes a 50 defense dragon. So having to get through that and do enough damage to kill him, you're gonna have to get like really, really high in your attack in order to get rid of him, or rely on things like Blast Lizard. Speaking of Blast Lizard, Magician Dragon also has a destruction effect. By spending 3 spell crests, you can destroy all other monsters and items within 3 squares of this monster. So the blast radius of this card is actually quite huge, and this affects all monsters and items, so that also includes yours. So you have to be very careful with this card, but in the grand scheme of things, this card is actually kind of better than Blast Lizard in that regard, because you can just get rid of so much for the cost of only 3 spell crests. The last card in the quote-unquote main deck is Tyrant Dragon. This is a level 3 Dragon Tribe monster with 30 HP, 30 attack, and 20 defense. It has the flying ability as well as 2 other additional effects. By spending 3 spell crests, you can make it so this monster only needs to spend 1 progress crest per square in order to move around the dungeon. So it removes the negative effects of flying from itself to make itself more powerful. Its other ability is, during this turn, reduce the defense points of anything this monster attacks to 0 by spending 3 additional attack crests. So let's go back to using Insect Queen as an example. Insect Queen boosted by Jellyfish is 40 defense. If you attack it with Tyrant Dragon, you can make its defense 0, and it basically makes this card an unblockable creature, and that is just absolutely insane. This card is super, super good, and it is definitely my second favorite card in this game, the first still being Insect Queen. So moving on to how my brother approached the Flexible 5, he went with a more win more strategy mixed with a bit of mind games, where mine was more have more situational answers. So starting things off, he's playing Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress number 2. This is a Gaia exclusive card. This is a level 2 dragon with 10 HP, 10 attack, and 10 defense with the flying ability. And its ability is, while this monster is in the dungeon, all other monsters in the dungeon cannot use their flying ability. So I had a question about that in the Dungeon Dice Monsters Discord. And this monster was compared to the Feral Imp, who has a very similar ability. And the way that it was ruled was that all other monsters that have flying can be attacked by anything, but also only cost 1 crest to move them around. So it can benefit your opponent in terms of movement, but when you realize that this card says all other monsters, that means that only this card can have flying. So if they have literally no other ways of attacking flying monsters, be it through Battle Warrior or destroying with things like Time Wizard or Blast Lizard, then this card can just lock your opponent from winning the game entirely, and that's kind of insane. Next we have Adhesion Trap Hole. This is a level 2 item card. It says when a monster passes through this item, they must stop on it, and then while that monster is on the item, it cannot make any movement. They're still able to attack, and they're still able to use their abilities. But unless they have a way to destroy the Adhesion Trap Hole, there is no getting off of that item. How items work is, let's see, every dungeon path will go purple today. And you play your item face down. Now it is a mystery for both players. Well, I mean, not you. You know what the card is. But typically, if we play an item, we'll kind of keep the card face down next to us instead of revealing it like we normally do. And then once a player crosses it, that's when you reveal the card and reveal its effects. And basically, this card just locks your opponent down so that they just become food for your dragons. And it's just super, super good. Next, we have Skill Drain. This is another level 2 item card. It has the same first effect as the other one. If a monster steps on it, they have to stop on it for the turn. That monster loses all of its abilities, including its native abilities, being flying and tunneling. And then this item is destroyed. Typically, when it comes to Skill Drain, when the item is destroyed, we will take the whatever monster, step on it, and then we'll just place it on the card so we remember where it is and that's the monster that's affected. But yeah, Skill Drain is just super good. It can be used both offensively and defensively. So your opponent has to really decide whether or not they want to risk stepping on Adhesion Trap Hole or Skill Drain. Because either way, your opponent's getting screwed over in one way. But if they also allow you to step on Skill Drain, then it'll also help you with the next card, which is the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is a level 4 Dragon Tribe monster with 60 HP, 50 attack, and 40 defense. So this thing is massive. Its ability is that you can only move it 1 square per turn. But if your Blue Eyes is affected by Skill Drain, that ability is gone and it can just freely move around the dungeon and just lay waste to absolutely everything. I personally am not the biggest fan of running level 4s, but clearly my brother doesn't care. He wants to win as hard as possible, and Skill Drain on Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is probably one of the best ways he can go about doing it. The last card of the deck, just proving that my brother is not afraid to try and play level 4s, is the Dark Paladin. This is a level 4 Dark Tribe monster with 30 HP, 30 attack, and 30 defense. In addition to all of that, it also has 3 abilities. The first ability is this monster cannot be attacked by monsters that are in the Dragon Tribe, nor is it affected by the special abilities of monsters from the Dragon Tribe. So if this is in the blast range of your Magician Dragon, that's fine. Go for it. Dark Paladin will stay. It doesn't care. Its second ability is this monster adds 10 extra attack points to itself for every Dragon Tribe monster in the dungeon. So just like Insect Queen with the Beast Tribe cards, Dark Paladin gets even stronger for every dragon that's in the dungeon. Doesn't matter if it's yours or your opponent's, it gets bigger. and that's already super scary. Its last ability, just because it can, you can destroy one magic crest and your opponent's crest counter for each magic crest you spend. So if your opponent has a bunch of magic crests because they're trying to save up for Blast Lizard, sacrifice your magic crests and get rid of them. It doesn't matter. Dark Paladin doesn't care. It's going to come in and kill all your stuff anyway. So yeah, Dark Paladin is just super good if you can get it out. And honestly, I'm kind of horrified to go against this deck because it seems like it's going to be pretty good. So yeah, that was me and my brother's Dragon Tribe deck. I hope you guys enjoy that. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the upcoming match between that versus my Insect Queen deck. Haven't recorded it yet, but hopefully I'll pull through. We'll see what happens. Honestly, I've been trying to record this video for about 40 minutes now. And just talking about this deck to myself for 40 minutes has me kind of scared. So, we'll see how that goes. The next deck we will be profiling is this control deck that I made. I was theory crafting it for about 2 months. I built it and I used it against my brother previously. It's kind of like an introduction to the game for him. And it worked really well. A lot better than I thought it would. And that was before I had access to bubonic vermin. So, I can only imagine it's going to perform even better now. Like last time, I will have the list of all of the cards and what sets they come in. I'll have the picture of the deck up for you guys to look at. And again, all the cards and items that I will be showing off will be linked to Gaia's store down below. Look forward to more DDM content in the future, and I will catch you guys later.